Welcome to our tutorial on contour rendering. First, I'm going to open the Render Manager. Let's expand the Appearances folder. Let's change the blue high-gloss plastic cover to a white plastic cover. Double-click. Let's scroll up, and here is our white high-gloss plastic. Let's go to the Illumination tab now. We see that the material type is set to plastic already, so let's leave it as is and click OK. And now we're ready to render. We see that our model looks pretty flat, unfortunately. In order to give the model more perspective, let's use some contour rendering. We go to Options, Advanced, and select Render Model and Contours. Let's enter a value of 1 pixel for the line thickness. Color, we'll change it to black. Click OK, apply and close, and let's re-render. First, SOLIDWORKS renders the model, and then it applies the contours on top of the model. And as you see, our model definitely has more definition. We do have some options for further enhancing its appearance that I'd like to show you. Let's go back to Options, click the Advanced tab. If we check Contour Fades with Depth, what will happen is that the further the contour is from the viewer, the thinner it will appear. In other words, we get some perspective. I'm going to adjust our slider somewhere here. Click Apply and Close. And let's render again. And as you see, the contours closer to us appear thicker, and those further from us nearly vanish. Now, in some cases, I may wish to see inside the model. Let me show you how we can do this. We go to the Feature Manager. Let's right-click on the top housing, select Hide Component. We don't see the preview, we just see the rendered image. Clicking the left and right arrows lets us reset the scene. Let's click Render again. Now we're going to right-click and bring back the top housing. Show. Let's reset our model again. You'll notice I'm using the arrow keys either left and right or up and down to do this. This is to be sure I end up with my model in the same position that I started with. In some cases, it's suitable to use transparent plastic. Let's check this out. We'll go to the Clear Plastic folder, and let's choose polycarbonate plastic. Click OK, and let's render. Let's adjust our material properties again. Double-click on polycarbonate plastic. Now let's set the transparency value to 1. We can drag the slider up to the maximum value. Basically, this means that the top housing will be fully transparent. We've got the same option available to us under the Illumination tab. Scroll down to the Transparency parameter control. If I wish to simplify this even more, I can choose a constant illumination type. And now I only have one parameter here, transparency. Let's drag it up to the maximum value. And click OK. Now let's render our model. As you can see, our top housing is see-through, but we still do have the contours that indicate where the housing is. These black areas on the side here can be fixed by adjusting the light source. By the way, in order to get this effect, it's not mandatory that we use a transparent material. Let's double-click, and this time we'll select a high-gloss plastic. Let's use blue high-gloss plastic, our original material. Activate the Illumination tab, and let's select the constant illumination type. Now let's set the transparency value to 1, drag the slider up to its maximum value. You see in the preview that the top housing is fully transparent. Let's click OK. Now let's go to Options, and let's click on the Advanced tab. Let's uncheck Contour Fades with Depth. This will allow us to see a more distinguished contour and depth. Let's apply and close, and render the image again. And as you can see, even though we didn't use a transparent material, we basically ended up with the same result. Let me take you through one more concept here. We're going to go back to the Options dialog window, and let's choose the Advanced tab. This time, let's choose Render Contours Only. The line color, we'll leave it black. The background color, let's select white. Now we'll apply and close. And let's render again. SOLIDWORKS finishes rendering the image of our model. Now here we have only the outline or the contours. Even though the material was transparent, we don't see the contours of the inside of the pocket game, however. And this concludes our tutorial on contour rendering.